What's up, everybody? Welcome to this week's Market Watch, where I take a look at the Orange County and Irvine housing market. I'm your host, Jason Zwolak of the Zwolak Group with First Team and Christie's International Real Estate. Hope you all had a fantastic week and are all geared up for the weekend. Well, as we moved into the third week of January, we are still seeing that hot market. I really don't see this ending anytime soon. I think it's going to move right into the spring. Inventory is climbing slowly. Demand is high. People really want to get into homes. Interest rates are low, and we're really just seeing that supply level diminish. So that's why we're in a hot seller's market right now. And again, I don't see that changing anytime soon. So for those of you tuning in for the first time, each week I take a look at Orange County as a whole, I'd look at Irvine as a whole, and then we break Irvine down into three different sections. So let's dive right in. So in Orange County this week, we saw 352 homes sell. That's down from 393 last week. So we did see a dip in the number of homes sold over the course of the last week. The average days on market was 56, pretty much the same as last week. The average list price was $999,128 with an average sold price of just over $964,000 with a list to sold per average of 96.5%. It's actually down 2.1% from last week. And I have a little bit of a theory for that, and I think we're going to see that a little bit more as we move forward. It's a potential issue because we did see it happen in Irvine as well, as I'm going to show you right now when we look at the Irvine numbers. So in Irvine, we had 42 homes sold, okay, and that is up slightly from 39 last week. The average days on market, 67 days. So we're still looking at these homes that are selling relatively quickly, which is good, and that goes back to alignment, priced right, marketed right, good condition, your home is going to sell. The Irvine listing average list price last week was just over 1.1 million. The average sold price was $1,070,049 with a list to sold average of 96.3%. That's down from 97.8% last week. So what ends up happening sometimes when we get into these markets where it's really hot and the homes are just flying off the shelf and it's a big seller's market. As sellers, we can get greedy and we want to overprice our houses. So what ends up happening is you're trying to drive that price as high as you can, so you come on the market too high and you end up having to reduce your price. And that's what we saw in the last week. We saw it down almost 2% week to week. So I really want to monitor those numbers in the coming weeks to see if it is a trend that's going to happen, because we have seen it happen in the past. Buyers are willing to overpay slightly, as I talked about last week, but they're still looking at fair market value, and that's important when you're pricing your home. You don't want to be chasing a price. You don't want to be driving it down and leaving money on the table, because typically when you overprice your home, you end up usually selling it below the average price, which you don't want to do, right? You don't want to leave any money on the table. So pricing it properly, marketing it, and the condition of the property, the three pillars of alignment, that's really important. And we've talked about it in the past, and I'm going to beat that to death because it is so important when you're looking at listing your house. Okay, so now now that we've looked at Orange County and Irvine, and we see that we are still in that hot seller's market, now we break it down into three categories. Number one, the first-time home buyers category, then the step-up category, and then the luxury category. So let's take a look at our first-time home buyers category. So in the Irvine first-time home buyers market, which is $0 to $750,000, currently there are 98 homes on the market. It's actually down from 101 last week. So again, inventory. We talked about supply issues. This is what we're seeing. The average days on market for those homes is 70, pretty much the same as last week. The number of sold this week, 15 versus 16 last week. So really in this market, we saw it pretty much status quo except for inventory. Inventory dropped about 3%. Okay, so there's not as many homes coming on the market. And I know I've talked about that in all these categories, but that's really what we're seeing right now as the trend. Inventory is low. I talked about it last week. We started the year at the third lowest inventory in the last decade. And everything is driven by supply and demand. So this is what we're seeing again here in the first-time home buyers market. So now that we've looked at that, we're going to take the next step. No pun there. We're going to look at the step up category. So the step up category is anything from $750,000 to $1.25 million. Right last week we had 190 active homes that are currently on the market. Step up last week 197. So we saw seven home that were down 7 homes, which again roughly 3%. The average days on the market was 70 for those homes, down from 74 last week, and we saw 20 homes sell this week, up slightly from 18 last week. So again, these are fairly close, and they're similar numbers from last week, with that except for that inventory drop. And I know it's repetitive. It seems like I'm on repeat here, but it really is. Supply is a big issue right now, and I think we're going to see that continue as we move into the spring. So now that we've taken a look at that, now our final category is our luxury category, which is anything over $1.25 million. So let's take a look. So with the luxury market, just like the step up, there's actually 190 homes currently on the market. Last week there was 193, so we just saw a slight drop there. Average days on market for those homes that are currently active, 100 versus 103 last week. And we did see a little influx in the number of homes sold in this category, where we saw 7 versus 5 last week. So the luxury home market, again, we don't see as many homes sell in this category, simply because there's not as many buyers. The buyer pool is smaller for the luxury homes. They typically stay longer on the market. The higher the price, typically, the longer they're going to be on the market because the buyer pool is a lot smaller. Okay, so like I said, I started off with, this is a hot market. If you're looking to sell, get on the market now. Get ready, get on the market. If you align your property perfectly and do it right, you're going to leave no money on the table. You're going to sell your home quickly, and you're going to be ready to go. If you're a buyer, don't panic. Okay, we need to have a strategy. Just like when you're listing a home, you need to have a buyer strategy. Talk to your agent. Hire the right agent that's going to come up with a strategy to find you homes. There's still deals to be had out there. You can still find properties, but it may take a little bit of work, and it may take thinking outside the box, and hiring a good buyer's agent is key to finding you your next home. So now that we've taken a look at the market as a whole and we've broken it down, we take a look at interest rates. Again, I always want to thank Patty Carpenter over at Prime Lending. She gets these rates over to us every Friday so that we can get them to you. This is really just to let you know what's happening. Rates have come down slightly. They're really hovering at historic lows. Really, it's now is the time to take advantage. Whether you're buying, whether you're pulling money out to maybe invest in a property and using some of your equity, now is a great time to do so, or even refinancing. You know what? Save yourselves on that monthly payment. So if you have any questions, obviously you can always message me and I can get you in touch with Patty. But let's take a look at the rates. So the conforming 15-year fixed, 3.5% with an APR of 3.539. The 30-year fixed, 3.75% with a 3.813% APR. The conforming 7-1 ARM is 3.5% with a 3.880% APR. Amazing rates here in the conforming. And remember, your conforming rates here in Orange County went up, the loan limits. So now you can buy an $805,000 house with 5% down and a 620 FICO score with no reserves. That's amazing. Amazing. If you are a buyer, you need to talk to us. We can get you start looking at this, especially if you're looking at getting in the market this year. The jumbo 30-year fixed, 3.5% with a 3.508% APR. The jumbo 7-1 ARM is 2.875% with a 3.508% APR. The FHA 30-year fixed, 3.375% with a 4.179% APR. And of course, our veterans for a 30-year fixed, 3.375% with a 3.457 APR. And finally, I've talked about in the past, the construction loan. If you're looking at maybe doing a little bit of work to the house before you get into it, 3.990% with a 4.093% APR. You can actually tack some of those costs on to your mortgage. So that's what's happening in the rates. Again, market is hot. Rates are insane. Let's talk. If you have any questions, please let us know. I do these videos every week really to keep you informed on what's happening. We're really here to be a resource for all of you. If you have any questions, please let us know. If you like this video, you find it helpful, make sure you subscribe, hit the bell so you're notified every time a new video pops up. Again, any questions about mortgages, let me know. I can get you in contact with Patty. Everything else real estate, anything else real estate related, let me know. We're here to help in any way we can. So I hope you guys have a great weekend. Have a great week. And until next time, take care, everybody.